Have you ever truly considered the power of silence? Not as a passive act, not as avoidance, but as a powerful, intentional, strategic tool. In a world addicted to noise, constant reaction, and endless commentary, silence becomes a rare strength, a hidden weapon, a fortress of peace in the chaos of conflict. Today, we explore the Stoic art of silence, not simply when to be quiet, but how silence can sharpen your wisdom, deepen your relationships, and give you mastery over yourself. According to the Stoics, silence isn't weakness, it's restraint, it's clarity, it's power. Let's explore the 6 powerful situations in which choosing silence is not only wise, it's necessary. Number 1. When you're angry, silence is self-mastery. Anger is one of the most dangerous emotional states to speak from. It clouds judgment, sharpens the tongue, and often leaves behind regret. When we're angry, our first instinct is to strike back, with sarcasm, with blame, with words that cut deep. But as Epictetus once said, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Because in that moment, you've given them control over your internal state. The Stoic path urges us to pause, to breathe, to feel the anger, but not to speak from it. Silence, in this case, is not submission, it's protection. It protects your dignity. It guards your relationships. It gives space for the emotion to pass before you respond with reason instead of rage. So next time you feel the fire of anger rising, don't speak. Observe, let the moment cool. Then, when you are calm, respond, not to hurt, but to resolve. Your silence becomes your shield. Your self-control becomes your sword. Number 2. When you're unsure of the facts, silence is integrity. In today's digital age, opinions are abundant, but truth is often neglected. We live in a culture where everyone feels compelled to have a take, to join the debate, to voice something, anything, even if they don't fully understand the situation. But the Stoics valued truth over noise. Seneca wrote, "It is better to be silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt." Speaking without facts doesn't make us wiser, it only exposes our ignorance. Worse, it can spread misinformation and cause real harm. Silence in uncertainty is a mark of intellectual humility. It tells the world, I value truth more than attention. Speak only when your words are rooted in knowledge. Otherwise, choose the quiet dignity of restraint. Number 3. When it's not the right time to confront, silence is strategy. There's a common misconception that the Stoics were passive, that they let life happen to them. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Stoics believed in action, but action taken with wisdom, not impulse. There are moments when something needs to be said. Injustice needs to be addressed. A wrong needs to be righted. But timing is everything. If you confront someone while emotions are raw, yours or theirs, the outcome is likely to be destructive, not productive. The confrontation becomes a battlefield, not a bridge. Seneca cautioned, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When you feel the need to speak up in a moment of tension, pause. Ask yourself, will this move the situation toward healing or escalate it into harm? Silence gives you time to think, time to choose the right words, time to decide how and when to speak for maximum impact and minimum damage. Remember, silence now can lead to understanding later. Number 4. When someone else is speaking, silence is respect. In a world obsessed with being heard, listening has become a lost art. We interrupt, we anticipate, we formulate our next sentence while the other person is still talking. But Stoicism reminds us that true wisdom starts with listening. Marcus Aurelius wrote, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This type of reflection begins by listening, truly, deeply. When someone speaks, give them your silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you are fully present. Active silence is one of the greatest gifts you can offer another person. It says, I value your voice. I'm not here to judge or respond, I'm here to understand. In relationships, in leadership, in life, listening is more powerful than lecturing. Silence gives space for connection. Number 5. When you're tempted to gossip, silence is moral strength. Gossip is seductive. It draws people in, makes us feel informed, included, even superior. But at its core, gossip is a betrayal of trust, of character, and often of truth. Marcus Aurelius urged us to avoid speaking unnecessarily about others. especially in ways that do not contribute to virtue or progress. When you gossip, you chip away at your own integrity. You may win someone's attention for a moment, but you lose their respect in the long run. More importantly, gossip damages your inner peace. It entangles you in the drama of others and distracts from your own growth. When the urge arises to comment on someone else's life, pause. Ask yourself, is this kind? Is this necessary? Does this reflect who I aspire to be? Silence here is more than wise, it's noble. Let your speech be so disciplined that others feel safe in your presence, even in your absence. Number 6. When you're reflecting on life, silence is wisdom. Finally, the most sacred silence of all is the one you create for yourself. In the noise of the world, it's easy to lose your inner voice, to be pulled in every direction, reacting to the chaos around you. But Stoicism calls us to retreat, not from responsibility, but into inner reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting in stillness. You reconnect with your essence when you create space for silence. It is in silence that questions arise and answers emerge. It is in silence that you reconnect with your values, your vision, your purpose. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. This is not escape, it is renewal. Make space for silence in your life, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. Final reflections. The mastery of silence. Silence is not the absence of power, it is the refinement of it. It requires discipline to hold back a sharp word. It takes strength to listen when you want to speak. It takes wisdom to choose not to gossip, not to argue, not to react. In each of these 6 situations, anger, uncertainty, mistimed confrontation, conversation, gossip, and reflection, silence becomes a tool for growth, for clarity, for mastery. When you embrace the Stoic art of silence, you begin to move differently through the world. You speak less, but say more. You react less, but understand more. You suffer less, but grow more. So ask yourself, where in your life do you need more silence? What strength could you unlock by speaking less and listening more? If this message resonated with you, like, comment, and subscribe for more timeless Stoic wisdom to help you master your emotions, your choices, and your life. Speech balloon. Share with us in the comments. What's one moment where staying silent gave you unexpected power or peace? Let's learn from each other. Let's grow together. Stay quiet, stay present, stay stoic.